Hey guys, look, look what happened. So I am doing some stamping and some stenciling in these journals that I've been working on, and I just thought, I would let you guys see what I'm doing or hang out with me while I'm working on these. Um, I think I have 9 of them finished so far. Anyway, so let me just kind of show you what I'm working with. So I've got this set of, they're like sign stamps, some old, anyway, they're these wooden stamps with numbers. I've got the whole set of the alphabet. I had to sort of narrow down what I was going to actually use so that I wasn't completely overwhelmed. But anyway, so I'm using some of these. I love them, these old numbers. My favorite is the 1/2. I think there's 2 of those in here. And then there's a little question mark and stuff like that. So I just pulled some out that I thought I would use. And then, of course, I've got my other little number stamps and things like that. So those are fun. Some other stuff. I've got just some clear stamps that I like to use. This is just sheet music. That's like a sheet music pattern. I got this camera stamp from Rosemary a couple years ago, and I was going to give it to my son. She sent it to me in some Happy Mail. Anyway, I was going to give it to him, but then I got attached to it. And then, so I sorted out, I just have this huge box of just random stamps. So I sorted out all the like smaller, like floral, botanical type of stamps. Some of them are mounted, some are not. I got this set of these wooden ones. They're just on these little slices of wood. I think I got those on Etsy. It was from some washi tape shop or something on Etsy. I did a haul video a long time ago where when I had opened the box that these were in. Anyway, some other clear stamps. So this is my little box of just small like bugs and butterflies and things like that. So I've got that one. And then do you guys remember I showed you I got this set of stamps from the thrift store over in Seattle, and I knew that I thought I had these already, but it turns out, I mean, they are the same, some of the same images. These are the 2 that I had. So I know I knew they looked familiar. Anyway, do you guys ever do that? Like just like buy the same thing over and over? I do that when I buy yarn. I always gravitate towards the same colors. Anyway, and then I've got this little tray with these, they're just these little rubber stamps, the days of the week and the months of the year, and then some other little letters that I've just rubber banded together to make a word. What else? Of course, I've got my label stamps. I just pretty much leave these mounted on the acrylic blocks all the time, and then if I have another stamp I want to use, I just use it on the back. So then stencils, I've got a little collection of these are like the numbers, and I will zoom the camera in, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys what I'm dealing with here. Anyway, these are the little numbers that use on ledger pages, and then some of these other brass numbers and letters. Louise actually sent me this letter J. I haven't used it in any of these journals, but it was in the little bundle. So, and then these are the Tim Holtz stencils that I think are mostly intended to just, I don't know, stick into pockets or something, or to use in collage or whatever. But they're kind of cool. I like they're all different fonts and stuff. So I've just been using them as stencils. And then I've got another little collection of some other just paper stencils. This is kind of like an Asian style font. It's kind of cool. Anyway, it was like a full sheet, and I just cut it down so they would fit in this little box. And then some other just like patterns that I like to use. This is like dictionary entries, some script, some other script. There's a couple different ones that are just script. And then this one I love is the tape measures, but I keep using this one and I keep accidentally doing it upside down. It's making me mad. Anyway, and then I've got my little collection of postage or postal stamps. Most of these are from a post office. Some of them are just like office type stamps. Like this one is the paid stamp, so it's, and then you write the date in. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing, and you know, mostly just smaller stamps. There are some large ones that I'm using, like this big leaf pattern. And then I picked this one up. I really love this stamp. I love stamps, but I always forget to use them, or I just feel like it's too much hassle to use them. But I love this one, all the pencils. So a lot of these, I don't know where I got them from or what the brands are. So a lot of them came from thrift stores. I love this fern. This is actually Memory Box. These are, again, from an Etsy shop, and I think they're made like in Japan or something. Some of the writing on the end of a couple of these is like Japanese. That one doesn't have any writing on it, but anyway, so that's what I'm doing. So on a lot of the little label, oh, this is the other thing that I did. So I have these little words. Let me zoom the camera in. My hands are completely covered with ink, so please forgive me for that. Those of you who are concerned about things like that. Anyway, so I have all these little words. I don't know where they came from. There's some kind of clear stamp set that I got, but I love the words that came with that set, and so I've been storing them just in this little container, but I always forget like what they are because you can't read it when it's on there. Anyway, so I just mounted them all on a little clear, like a little acrylic block, just using the tape runner. So they're not permanently mounted, but so they're just stuck on there with glue, and I have them set so that I know how to hold it so that they're always upright. Anyway, so some little words on there. And then I did the same thing on this one with some of the like phrases that came with that same set. So got two on one side, so I can just stamp, you know, like that side or that side, and then I can turn it over and do the same thing. So if you have little tiny stamps like that you want to use, and this is just a good way to kind of make sure that you use them. Just find something that you can just stick them onto and keep them handy so you don't forget about them like I do. This is one of my favorites. This is a little cupcake. So I'm just using like random stamps. So I pulled out my two little bowls of peg stamps. If any of you guys are interested in looking at peg stamps, there's a company called, what is it called? Tapestry, pegstamps.com. So they make these little sets of stamps. I think, they average like 3 to 5 stamps per set, and they kind of all go together. They're really fun. If you ever watch The Frugal Crafter, she does some demonstrations with peg stamps. They're pretty cool. Anyway, so I'm trying to not get bogged down on just, I'm not trying to stamp every page or anything like that, but I just want to make sure that I go through each one and give it you know, it's proper attention, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so I'm just stamping. I stamped the word snippets on there. And I'm sorry that it's kind of hard for you guys to see exactly what I'm doing, but so I'll take, I use a lot of this collage, digital collage in these journals. Oh, and then ink. So I've got my red. I think this is the Stays On. Yeah, it's the Stays On Blazing Red, and then the Memento Danube Blue. That's I got in Happy Mail. I can't remember who sent it to me, but I lost my re-inker for that. I know I have it somewhere. Anyway, and then this is just a just like an empty stamp pad that I think I bought at the thrift store, and I just added whatever like dark color re-inker that I had. Like some of it's like coffee and some is, you know, like walnut, and then vintage photo, things like that. So there is some distress ink in here. So if I use this ink really heavy, then I try to put something over it so that it doesn't, you know, get onto the other page. But the others dry really fast. And then I've just got my big archival stamp pad kind of off to the side. You can't see it. And then I made this little little board that I can insert under the pages when I'm stamping, just to give a nice surface. And so it's just a piece of file folder with a real thin piece of fun foam that I just glued onto it. So anyway, I don't have to use that on every single one, but you know, especially I like to use it if I'm doing like a large stamp, like those leaves or something. Anyway, so I'm just, it's really fun. Like this also, you know, like doing the other little embellishments and stuff. It's just really relaxing and just fun. Sometimes I have a hard time with making sure to remembering to use the things that I pulled out to use. Oh, and then these are just makeup brushes that I'm using for my ink. So when I do the stencil, I'm sort of doing it like heavier on the corner and then like kind of feathering it out into the page. So you can see it's darker here and then it just kind of fades in. And the little board comes in handy for that. So I'll just take like, you know, like a little leaf stamp and just, you know, just here and there playing with adding little surprises throughout the journal. So like this one, I'm going to stamp a label onto this envelope. So I like to use the board for that. And then let's put just like just stamp a little butterfly in there. It's just fun. Some of these stamps print better on like really smooth paper. So like some of the papers that are really textured, like some scrapbook papers are like really textured, especially like the solid color ones. So, you know, I wouldn't use like a highly detailed stamp on that type of paper. Like for instance, this camera is a really detailed stamp. It's a high quality stamp. So if I want to use it, I try to do it on like a smooth paper, you know, like a really smooth paper so that I get a good image. On these little guys, I hope you guys can see. On these little guys that I added, these little labels that came out of that address book, I like to just add like a stamp, just a little word on there, one of these little words. So that says love. See, I don't know, I just think it's cute. It's just kind of cute. I really enjoy stamping the leaves onto the craft paper. I just think it looks really pretty. I don't have like a dark, I do have some dark brown like archival ink, but I'm trying to limit the number of stamp pads that I've got out on my desk. So I'm just stamping these in black. Just try to make sure I get a good contact, and that's why the foam is nice. So see, I just think it looks pretty on the brown paper. And I'll add like just a little label here and there. Let's do a blue one on here. So like this is cardstock, and this is not like a huge stamp. It's not extremely detailed, so I'm not super worried about it making a good impression. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp around the word notes on here. So just kind of highlights that word. So just kind of fun little details. On some of the craft paper pages, I like to just add one of these little numbers in the corner. And since this is so, the craft paper has a tendency to like really suck the ink in, so it doesn't, I'm not extremely worried about it smearing. But what I've been doing, if I am concerned about it smearing, because I don't want it to, mess up the next page or the previous page, I'll just take a little sticky note and put it on there so that it's really sticking out, so I make sure that I see it later. Just fun, like these little labels. I'll take one of these numbers. Just super random. And then, let's see. Let's use one of these. We'll stamp it in red. I do want it to, stamp really well, so I'm going to use the board. A lot of these stamps are pretty old, so especially like these postage ones, they're pretty old, so they're not, the rubber has gotten hard. I've taken all of them, especially these, because these really are, these are really old, like from like near the turn of the century, and soak them in glycerin. Just take like a cookie sheet, and then I just lay all the stamps out, with the rubber part down, and let them set in the glycerin for a couple days, and then just pat them dry with like a baby wipe. On the box that these came in, it actually says on the box to just clean them with water, and not to use like turpentine or paint thinner or anything like that. Like, you never want to use anything like that on rubber stamps, because it will actually deteriorate the rubber. So anyway, where I have a page like that where it's, like, I don't know, I just think I feel like it needs something I'm going to add a little bee. It's actually kind of a big bee. I love this stamp. It's one of my favorites. No, oh, Stamp Abilities. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby then. So cute. Sometimes when there's a lot of text like this, I like to add a little stamp, some kind of like butterfly or something like that, just to kind of add something cute. So these are the Tim Holtz, like, I don't remember what the name of the set is, but I've had them for a long time and they've been used a lot, and I don't even bother trying to clean them anymore. But I think it looks kind of cool to have some, like a stamped image over this text or the handwriting. And I also try to vary the positioning of the stamps. Like I try not to do all of the stamps vertical. Like I try to maybe even have them come out from the corner, or some, you know, maybe have the butterfly flying down the page rather than going up. Just try to, you know, play around with that. Let's do, let's try this stamp again and see if I can, you know what, I'm just going to do it vertically, and that way it doesn't matter if it's upside down or not. So I just ink it, like I didn't ink the whole thing. I just took it and just kind of tapped it on my stamp pad, and I'm just going to lay it here. Actually, I'm going to lay it up here, and then I'm just going to use my fingers and kind of rub it on there. I rubbed it a little bit too much. Like, you kind of want to take one finger and sort of hold it down and then just gently rub it. See, it kind of got smeared a little bit, but it's like not a huge deal, right? And then again, since it's on the craft paper, using that archival ink, it actually dries really fast, so I'm not even worried about that one. Let's see, let's put something on this page. I got these little, I don't know, it's this set of like botanical stamps from that same Etsy shop. I'll go back and look at my purchases and see if I can find it, and I'll put a link in the description. And I'll actually link the video where I got these when I was unboxing them, because they actually are kind of cool. I'll use a couple more of them so you guys can see some of the others. They're neat. I like the, like, I'll just have to stamp them and show them to you. So these are old dry embossing stencils. I used to actually do a lot of dry embossing, and I still have all of my stencils from that. I have all these like butterflies and stuff, and they're kind of cool. Like, don't forget about the dry embossing section at Hobby Lobby. They still sell those stencils. So just added some letters, just altering it a little bit. I'm not doing much in the way of stamping on these thinner papers. If I do anything, I'll just do something tiny, like a little frog, you know. I may come back through all of these as I'm adding. I'm going to come back and add like some ephemera and stuff to these. And so when I do that, I might add just like some little bits of washi tape and stuff like that here and there. So I want to stamp, what do I want to stamp on there? Oh, I know. I love this guy. It's these like pen nibs. Such a cool stamp. I actually cut one of them off of the end. It was 5. I cut this one off so I could have it just by itself. See, that's how they use those number stencils. That's what these are for. See? Let's do another. Oh, I didn't show this to you guys. So this is like a cancellation thing that I got from, I don't remember, but you know, this is what they use in the post office to cancel stamps. And so what they would do is actually ink this roller. They would just add ink to that roller. I haven't been doing that just because it's kind of messy and stuff, but I just take it and roll it on this stamp pad, this one that's really juicy. Like I've got a lot of ink in that ink pad intentionally, because that's the one where I use for stenciling and stuff. Anyway, so I have just added these little like strips of postage stamps onto some of these pages. So if I see that in one of the journals, I just go along and I cancel them out. It's kind of fun. It's the only time I can ever use that roller. So those are kind of wet on top of the stamps. The ink is kind of wet on top of the stamps, so I'm just going to add a sticky note on there. And then this little label, let's do a little phrase on there since it's kind of a large label. And this one says, precious little details. And let's see, something little. How about this little butterfly? Let's do this little butterfly right there. Let's do another one of those stamps that I said I wanted to show you guys. I just think they're neat. They're, I don't know. I just love them. I think they're cool. So let's do it on this page. Wait. No, I don't want to do it on that page. Hold on. Hold the phone. There's already, see, I've already got this cat sticker here, and then I've got this little bug here. So I want to go a few more pages forward before I do anything else. So let's do it on this page. I just think they're really cool. And that says phytography on the, that's what I like about them. One of them says specimens or something. And I'm going to add a sticky note here because I don't want that to smear. Let's do a little stencil on this. Using the big brush, really dark up in the corner, and then just kind of feather it out. I'm going to make it really dark. There we go. So this is it. This is what I'm doing to all of these journals, and it's really fun. It's just gives me a chance to use all these stamps too that I just kind of, I don't know, I've just been sort of ignoring them. This is kind of a cool little stamp too, this weekly plan stamp. And it came with those other ones from Etsy. It was another set that I got from that shop. I pulled out my little perforator tool. This is the Tim Holtz Tonic Studios little perforator, because I thought it would be kind of fun to maybe just here and there add the option for somebody to tear off the edge of a piece of paper, you know. So I just go along using the hard side, the firm side of this board, to run the perforator tool along that edge. So now this is perforated, so somebody could tear that off if they wanted to. And I think it would be really cool to actually do like a whole journal like that, you know, where there's just lots of pages that you can tear out, you know. It'd be kind of time consuming. I have another like cutter that does perforation too. It's bigger. So I just add the sticky note. So it's kind of, whoops. I'll do it like that. I'll just leave it like that for a while, for a couple hours, until I'm absolutely certain that it's dry. Let's do one of these bugs. Let's do this beetle. Let's do it in red. Let's do it on this piece of ledger. There's a little Tupperware label on here. I'm going to add a little word on there. Now, that word says snippets. This is kind of fun. Super fun. I'm going to do a label. I'm going to stamp a label around this fish. Let's do it with the blue ink. It might come out kind of purple because I had some red ink on there. Use my board. So in case you know, you guys haven't picked up on this, the label stamps came from Signet Stamps on Etsy, and I will leave a link to the description, or to the listing for those in the description. And I think he's got, I don't know what he's got going on exactly, but he had some price reductions on some of his stamps because he found somebody else to make them. So, because he doesn't actually make them himself. Actually, I'm just going to stamp, whoops. Always have baby wipes handy too when you're doing this, just in case you mess up. Like, and also it's good to clean my hands now and then. I'm going to stamp a little red heart on here. Nice thing about the peg stamps is that they give you this little line, this little registration mark. So you know that, you know, that's the bottom. Like, that helps you orient it correctly. Or incorrectly, whatever you want to do. So sometimes I like to take these and just do like a little row of them along the edge of a page. And I'm just like giving it a half turn each time I stamp. One more. Kind of fun. Let's do one of those, I want to do one of those long stamps, one of these. Actually, there's one here that says memo. I like that one. Let's put something on this label. Let's use one of these little month stamps. So this is October. And then let's see. Let's use one of these little guys. I like this stamp. It's really cool. It says, do not use this envelope or wrapper again. I like to stamp it on envelopes. Let's put, I'm just going to add a little flower right there. It took me a while to get this kind of set up, how, like, to go through all my stamps. I actually got rid of a whole bunch of them. Like, some of the postal stamps that I had were just in such horrible condition. There was just no saving them. So I actually tossed them, some of them. See, we need some kind of something on this page. This is another stamp from that set. I'm also trying to, you know, not always stamp on this side. Like, I'm trying to alternate which side of the page I'm stamping on. Yeah, like this one says chlorophyll. I'll show it to you guys closer. See, I don't know. It's just kind of neat. It's like scientific, you know. Let's use one of these number stamps. Actually, let's do the 1/2. So this, I stamp because these need a lot of ink on them because they're so hard. Like I need to like really ink them kind of heavily. So I use this like totally, God, there's all this like lint and stuff stuck on it. I like to ink them up kind of messy is what I'm trying to say. Because like these, and it's a soft like foam pad as opposed to the felt. So this stamp pad allows me to get a lot of ink on there. And then, yeah. So when your stamps are really hard, like you can still use them if you ink them up pretty heavy and use some foam under it. Like, and it actually absorbed into that paper pretty well. This is some avocado dyed paper and it's not wet at all. Let's put a stamp around the word vocabulary. A label. Just for fun. Well, there's some more stamps. I love that thing. I think it actually came in a box of them that I think I might have gotten them on eBay. Not 100% sure. Don't really remember. Let's do some of this dictionary pattern. Let's do it on this page. There we go. So it just adds a little bit of texture to the page and kind of gives somebody like a starting point if they want to do some collage or something like that. Let's add another, add a little word on here. So let's say, oh, laughter. These are so tiny, it's like almost impossible to read them. Did it. So cute, see? And let's do something on here. Maybe let's use one of these little wooden ones. Just with black ink. Let's do a number stencil in the corner of this page. Add like a red pomegranate. Let's just do the whole border. And then I wanted to use some of these stencils, some of these numbers. So I kind of like tap it on down, like down part of it, and then kind of feather it out to the edges. Like I'm not trying to necessarily stencil the entire number perfectly, you know. I'm really just trying to get like a, I don't know, almost like a shadow of the number. You know what I mean. So that's all one font. Let's do, this is a different font for the number 5. Let's put it down here. Yeah, see, I think that looks kind of cool with different fonts. Sometimes when I see little things like that where it says figure 8, I like to, you know, just add a little label stamp around it. Just because. And again, I do like to every once in a while add some kind of little stamp on the inside of these flaps, the pages that are folded in. Let me do this little moth. It's time consuming doing this kind of stuff, right? But it's just super fun. I mean, it's fun for like the first 5. Just saying. So I definitely take breaks, like go wash the dishes or something and then come back and do a few more, you know. But anyway. Let's do another, let's do a word on that label. Perfect. That's what the word is. It says perfect. This little image of my dad, a lot of times when I use some of my family photos or something, if I'm using these stamps, I always like to use the word love. Because it's my daddy. So my dad would love that I'm using his baby pictures in my journals. He would think that is so cute. Let's do one more little, let's do this bee. And I do like to alter the placement too, like to put it somewhere where it's not necessarily expected. I want to put a label right there for some reason. It's just screaming. Put stamp label here. And then, let's see. I'll put something else in there. Oh, I know. I know. This is a little stamp that says figure 1. Okay. So that's it. That's it. One more done. So I'll just leave these sticky notes sticking out, and then I'll do a couple more journals, and then I'll come back and pull all the sticky notes out. And then next step will be adding my eyelets for my closure, and I think I'm just going to use seam binding on these and tie them closed. I did do some buttons on one of them on the spine, but I kind of don't really like it. I mean, I know some of you will say, oh, it looks really cool, and I think it looks really cool on journals. I just don't know if it really, if these journals have the vibe for that, you know. Plus it's extremely time consuming. So I kind of want to just get these done now. I've only got like a day and a half to get them done. So I don't think I'm going to be adding buttons to these. This one I'm going to leave them on there just because I already did it. So I'll just leave them. But what I'll do is if you would like some buttons for your journal, if you wind up buying one of these, just put it in the notes when you place the order. There's a little spot on there where you can add a note to seller and just say, I would love some buttons or something, and I'll add some buttons for you. Okay. And I think I might do some monogram stickers too, like I was saying, from those books. And yes, I am going to buy the bibliophile sticker book. I saw Rosemary sent me a link to it the night when I published the video where I was showing the sticker books. So I'm definitely going to buy that sticker book. And I think I'm going to have to go ahead and buy another one of the botanical one because that one is absolutely my favorite. So, and they were on sale. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing. And these are going to be ready to go. My appointment at the dentist is at like 4 o'clock on Thursday Pacific time. So I might actually wind up listing these on Thursday morning and get them up if they're ready. And I don't like taking my photos at night. I like to wait and do it in daylight. So if it gets too late tomorrow, I'll see how much work I can get done on them today. But anyway, it depends on the daylight, whether or not I can get these listed tomorrow. If not, it'll be Thursday. So anyway, okay guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me and for all of your love and your support and your well wishes and all that stuff. I'll be just glad when this whole thing is done, and I'll see if I can still talk and sound like me. I don't care if I look like me anymore. All I care about is that I can smile without feeling self-conscious and that I can talk. That's it. Okay. Eating is incidental. All right. I love you guys, and I will be back in touch soon in a couple days. I'll post a video when I get these done. Okay? I promise. All right. Bye for now.